right, welcome everyone. Next is Gaming Series. DBSmiley here. I am joined by StoiC for the Division A Grand Finals. As we see the champions of A West, Tainted Orphans, against the champions of A East, ParsleySnagRosemaryandLine, which is still my favorite team name of the season as a Simon and Garfunkel fan. And I am joined by StoiC. StoiC, how you doing?
I am doing so well. Excited to be here. Also a Simon and Garfunkel fan, so happy to be here tonight.
But yeah, so both teams are in the lobby. We should be ready to go soon. We just wanted to go ahead and get the stream up, introduce these two teams. So take a look at how they got there through the brackets. You can see A West, because it was a double round robin division, it is going to be a little bit. Oh, hang on. We're going to need to actually restart the stream, as apparently when I set up my settings, I somehow disabled delay. So apologies for that. We'll be right back. File for my stream key. I didn't have the delay on, but I did fix that. So now you're hearing us from 30 seconds in the past. We're in the future. We're time travelers. It still sucks 30 seconds later, by the way, this whole year. That hasn't gotten better. StoiC, how are you feeling 30 seconds in the future?
You know, 30 seconds in the future me is just 30 seconds closer to being done with 2020. So
30 seconds closer to dead too. I mean, just
well,
not to say we're happy about that, but it is 30 seconds you will never see again.
That's true.
That is true. All right. Well, with that, we are now set and good to go. Looks like the teams are getting ready. Take a look at those map picks. Tainted Orphans, or PSRL, I should say, won the toss and chose map pick. So Tainted Orphans banned out Braxis, and then Volskaya. PSRL banning out D-Shire and Sky. Tainted Orphans taking us to Tomb. And you want to tell us anything about kind of Tomb and these two teams, StoiC?
Yeah. Tomb of the Spider Queen is a map that is all about wave clear. So there's lots of opportunities to fight. Three really close lanes put together. So we're going to see teams probably doing a solo lane in the bottom with a 4-man mid-top, with occasionally bringing that 5th man up, or possibly going for a gank down bottom. But, wave clear is the name of the game. If you can push those lanes out, it allows you to get those gems and allows for those easier turn-ins to hopefully snowball and get that boss running down that top lane, which is usually the most important.
Yeah, it's going to be important here, and, I took a little look ahead of time. I expected we'd see Tomb with Tainted Orphans 6-0 on the map. It is their best map this season. The only other map they've played as many times is Shrines, where they're comparatively worse a 3-3 at, so this is definitely going to be a map for them. That said, PSRL has not lost on this map either, sitting at 3-0. So we'll see what happens there. I guess, can you clarify what you mean by the microphone issue? If it's not a particularly clear quality, but it seems to be going at the levels of my mic on my stream. So if you want to clarify what you perceive that problem to be, I will do my best to fix it.
Maybe I run and go grab a different headset that aren't the cheapo Apple headset.
I'm not sure.
Maybe that's the play. BRB.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can get that fixed. Actually, no, just stick around. We'll deal with it.
We'll deal. I'll talk loud and
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Bit low. Okay. Well, I'll turn me down a little bit and see if that helps balance it out. But with that, heading into this draft, Tainted Orphans PSR, game number 1 in this best of 5 series. It is the grand finals of A Division. Taking one more look at how they got here, but we're going to pop right back into the draft. Any expectations, given kind of their hero picks that we looked at? Any expectations on what you might see banned tonight?
I'm thinking that Tainted Orphans should make sure that Cassia does not make it through here. In the A East championships, Winterheart on Cassia had a huge impact. Mm-hmm. And I hope that they decide to take that away, because definitely a strong hero that can mess things up.
Winterheart also making a lot of plays on Orphea in some of those playoff games as well. So I think that could be a choice. Junkrat going to be banned out. It is a hero that Tainted Orphans has shown. It's their second most played assassin behind Greymane. And Junkrat can be very tricky on this map to deal with the the trap that you can place in the rotations, especially once you get the walking talent. Uther, though, banned out. That's not a surprise. That is a Snag special.
Yeah, don't want any of those shenanigans there.
No, you don't. Snag has played a lot of Uther tank. It's actually interesting because when you look at the tank picks, PSRL almost kind of plays their own meta. Their most played tanks, in terms of impact, tend to be Uther and Varian, whereas other teams have been kind of stuck in the ETC Joanna framework. So, interesting. That said, Muradin, also available for Tainted Orphans, is kind of a niche pick that they quite like.
Yeah, I imagine a hero like Johanna could make a big impact here. We see that Orphea pickup as you were talking about from Winterheart. Johanna here has great wave clear for a tank. Maybe she takes that. Oh, but Cassia is still available. Ooh.
Cassia is still available, so they could go into the first pick on it. It is Tomb. Wave clear is pretty important here. Cassia is kind of okay at that, but still, that is the first pick.
Oh, man. Okay. I said Johanna before. If I think Tainted Orphans got to pick up the Johanna. Otherwise, the Johanna Cassia combo is pretty strong with Cassia getting that bonus damage to blinded heroes.
Yeah, Cassia would be strong with that Joe. Although I would be... Joe's their third most played tank on Tainted Orphans. And they're not going to take it. They're going to go with the Tassadar Diablo, the kind of blow-up combo that can provide off the... you build a wall and you bang an enemy against it.
Yeah, it's not a bad combo. It's pretty good to have that in your pocket. Maybe they'll let Johanna through and she won't make an appearance in this draft. I do love the blind girl stuff.
I think she'll get picked up here. I would be surprised if not, but we'll see. But taking a look, Tassadar, ever increasing pick rate on the season 25. Well, I'm wrong. Turns out I'm wrong.
Yeah, what do I know?
What do either of us know? Not much.
Garrosh, Deckard picked up. Awesome control. Both heroes provide great control to a team fight. And between lanes.
Mm-hmm. This is a good map for Garrosh, and then if Deckard just feels very, very strong at the moment. It has been... So they've really stuck to two healers, Deckard and Anna, and given their comp, I do think the Deckard is better.
Yeah, I
Blaze
think you're right.
Good.
Himibo in the chat saying Johanna is a lot weaker in the current patch, and I think that is true.
That is true. That is true.
The 5-second nerf to her trait definitely it's you feel those 5 seconds.
Yeah, especially when typically you want to be able to snap hit that whenever the kind of CC comes in, to the point that I often find myself hitting it without looking at whether or not the cooldown is up, just kind of hoping it's up sometimes. So she did fall off a bit. So given the meta's pretty bursty, you have some good tanks for that. Also, Garrosh post 20 has hilarious levels of damage reduction, potentially.
That's true. Garrosh getting a little bit of love in the last patch as well.
Mm. But the Tracer banned out. That is not something I scouted there, but the Anna and the Yrel definitely something I expect we would see tonight.
Space Goat and Grandma, two extremely strong heroes here. Anna with those sleeps and that healing reduction. Yrel with just the ability to jump around and survive forever in the back line.
Yeah, and nano boosted Tassadar is always a fun time for everyone on your team, not the enemy team. It's very much not a fun time for them. Okay, double tank. It is a Joe, so she still has wave clear. Gonna have the blinds as well, and then Joe Goldan just to be like, yeah, we have all the wave clear that we would want or need ever.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So not a traditional bruiser here. Do you imagine that Johanna rather takes that solo lane bottom?
That's my expectation. Given that, especially into Yrel, pretty much your goal is just to clear the lane and just don't die because you're not going to kill Yrel in the lane. Hanzo, the last pick though, and you know, with Winterheart kind of being the star assassin in a lot of ways for PSRL, Raver has absolutely been that for Tainted Orphans. The big reason why they've done so well in that very tough A West division.
We got definitely two titans here from the East and the West clashing, and they both have some interesting comps here. Blue team a little more standard. Red team, though, has lots of options.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go ahead and post in chat who you think is going to win here. I look at this and I say, I mean, it's going to come down to Tainted Orphans doing their combos, but Bridge to Death is going to make sure his team does their combos. So I'm actually going to give the edge to them here.
I think that I'm going to go with, Cassia Johanna, my favorite two heroes. I got to give it here to PSRL. Mm-hmm. I think that they've got their work cut out for them. Without that, big burst damage that you're going to see from a Tassadar, they're going to have I think they're going to get people low. But I think Ana is going to be able to keep them healthy. So they got a hard road ahead, but I think PSLR is going to take this one by the skin of their teeth.
All right, well, we'll find out. Go ahead and post in chat everyone who you think is going to win, but we will get into game number 1 of the Season 9 Division A Grand Finals. This is it. A winner will be crowned tonight. Let's go ahead and introduce the teams. On the left, Tainted Orphans going to be Bridge to Death on that Diablo. Variations on Urel. Raver is going to be on Hanzo. Waffleman on the Ana. And Will to Live on Tassadar. It is Tainted Orphans. Go ahead and introduce PSRL for us.
And in the red team coming from Division A East, we have Cassia played by Winterheart, Gul'dan by Professor Bobo, Garash by Snag, Deckard by Linehouse, and Johanna played by Crow.
All right.
It is PSLR.
And, yes, PSRL. And with that, taking a look at the talent. So I will say, I've seen a bit more love lately for Gul'dan's Q build, but sticking with the E build here. Which makes sense. There's not a ton of melee on the other team. You want to be able to get some poke. But the engage going on here, there's a flip, variations, actually knocking back the rest of the team. Crow getting a bit separated, taking a couple tower shots, does not have the shield available. Variations wants to go in for the finish, doesn't quite find it. Oh, but Raver with the kill shot! He turned it sideways, it's a kill shot.
Excellent setup and patient there with that arrow, knowing that Johanna would be vulnerable at that last moment. Excellent play there by Ravar.
That was a disgusting kill shot, just right off the gate. All 5 arrows hitting Joe. That was a finish and a half there. As these teams start their rotations, looking a little bit like Tainted Orphans, a bit ahead now off that death, but also Winterheart working on that bottom siege camp.
Yeah, a little sneaky there. Cassia making her way with a couple of heroes left. Oh, Tassadar finds that pick under Gul'dan. And Snag quite low as well, forced to back and tap.
And I love this aggressive Hanzo play, and that might be, yes it is, kill number 3. Raver and Will to Live just polishing off these combos from Bridge to Death. And Bridge to Death knowing when to be aggressive, working extremely well here.
Yeah, seen this Diablo play before, been on point, and it's definitely showing up tonight.
Indeed, and now the siege camp is in the bottom, pushing against Urel. Joe gonna stay down to soak, but it looks like now PSRL finally getting back into their rotations. They find the flip onto Diablo. Winterheart comes in for the finish, and it's a game of picks.
That's exactly what the red team's looking for. They're gonna look for that every time. Mm-hmm. That single target isolation blow up.
Yeah, it's both very aggressive comps, so it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it's going to come down a lot to these picks, and this map very pick-centric, as you want to be able to deny gems by picking off targets carrying those. So we'll see how that unfolds as the game goes on. But right now, PSRL manages to drop 22 gems, got them in the bank, and that's certainly going to help you out.
Yeah. Some interesting talent selections here. Garash opting for that new and improved body check at level 1. Not so new, but the body check at level 1 for Garash, not typical.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around since he's been launched, but it's kind of always been deemed a meme talent, but it did get some love in the last patch, so we'll see how that helps out. As the rotations resume here. Snag potentially looking for the aggressive play onto Diablo. Didn't quite have the root in the right location for the follow-up, but still got some good chunk damage into the Dibbles there.
Yeah, keeping him honest, making sure he's on his toes there. You know, this might be a falling sword game for Johanna now that I think about it.
It very well could be, and it would set up Garrosh to be able to walk into the middle of the enemy team. Ooh, Anna getting separated out there a bit. Gonna take some damage, but now it's actually Snag looking for the emergency exit, and I don't think... Oh, he finds the last couple potions in the Ruby to stay alive.
Excellent play there. Both of these healers out of their minds trying to keep these teams alive in these very scary team fights.
Very scary, very aggressive, and generally very fast, although Gary always difficult to polish off. But Tass, that W from Tass is just making the lane cease to exist very quickly.
Yeah. Definitely slight level advantage here as they're a little bit closer to those level 10s being Tainted Orphans here.
Yeah, and right now, PSRL trying to deny turn in here. They only need to get 7 in on the side of PSRL. Ooh, but Gul'dan goes down, and that's going to delay any attempts to turn in and might lead to a Webweaver phase for the side of Tainted Orphans.
Yeah, you know, Red Team's done a great job of getting those gems turned in, so maybe they're going to have a chance to stall this out.
Yeah, ooh, Winterheart, oh no, the end of the fray! It saved a minion, but that wasn't what they were trying to save.
Minion ends up falling, as does Winterheart there.
Yeah. That was a little bit of an awkward position there. Into the fray almost saved, but just kind of stacked up against that wall. As, now it looks like Bridge to Death should be able to proc this Webweaver phase. And he does. The Tainted Orphan's gonna get the webs, get the spiders in the lane for the first go-round.
Yeah, these teams looking at clear. Blue team's looking to clear this mid wave. I assume they go top next to push that often high priority lane where the boss will spawn them just a little bit here.
That is indeed looking like what they're gonna do. Well, no, they're still hanging around the mid, maybe just trying to look for that pick off or at least pressure and threaten to slow the rotation. As Tass, of course, can just clear the lane instantly. Ooh, Diablo though gets thrown under the towers. But remember, they don't target heroes anymore, by default, so...
So far, this has been quite a good defense from ParsleySnagRosemaryandLine.
They do have the good defense, but now it gets tougher.
Gem to turn. Looking to find it here.
There's the sleepy time into the taunt, so it is not the, sorry, as Urel getting horrified back, has, though, the Ardent Defender, and its Snag is ultimately going to run out of HP first. Will Diablo get out of here? No. 4v4 at the moment. Crow still maybe looking to step up. But I think both teams going to kind of disengage off that.
Yeah, both teams without a tank here. Red team going to try and sneak this turn if they can bottom, it looks like, as they're crashing down onto this Hanzo-Urael combo.
Linehouse is going for the turn. It has not been spotted out, and that will be a Webweaver phase moving in. Linehouse finding the sneak, and Winterheart doing a great job zoning.
Yeah, excellent. We're 7 minutes into the game here. First Webweaver phase. Almost got that top fort. We'll see if the PSRL can find the first structure of the game here.
We will see. Top fort very low, despite that strong defense from PSRL, so they are going to want to push that lane out a bit. But that said, fight coming down here in the middle. Garrosh gets stunned against the wall, has to blow the self-unstoppable to walk away. But now the rest of the team's here. Are they going to push this up or rotate top? It looks like the latter.
Oh, maybe a little bit of a feint here as they're hiding in this bush, looking for this rotation. They're going to see Rayvar step.
They're looking for Rayvar. You go with the taunt first. There's the Valkyrie. Now Bridge to Death, though, separate away. Gonna get a big APOC combo off onto the Deckard. The follow-up damage isn't there. No, it is finally. Deckard not able to get out of that storm from Tassadar. Sleep Dart hits onto Snag. I think that's gonna be enough to secure the kill. It is. And now Bridge to Death looking for more. Damage wasn't quite there to find it, but that is 2 big kills and will enable them, with bottom and mid already cleaned up, to survive this second Webweaver phase very healthily so, as well as deny a lot of gems.
Yeah, oh man. Definite bummer there as both teams ended up being the first to die really when their Webweavers are going, or losing more heroes rather as Webweavers go. So kind of stalled out. The team's very equal as far as structures go, with Tainted Orphans having a slight level advantage here.
All right. Well, with that, Bridge to Death looking to drop 18 here. Now, there are still more gems in the hands of PSRL, but of course, it's not about having the gems, it's about turning them in, and right now, Will to Live is about to get them up to... Actually, Will finish the cap there, as some turns also happened in the bottom, so very quick turnaround, very quick drop, and that certainly is going to help Tainted Orphans look for an opportunity here. Oh, the Hanzo arrow not quite on target. They weren't able to land that combo. Defense is now coming in, but Winterheart has to be careful. 48 gems on hand, even more than Joanna's 41.
Valkyrie dodged there, so both teams down ults as Tatsunar's Archon just about to come online. We'll see how he's deciding to use that. This mid Webweaver is not going to make it closer to the fort, as it is a very hefty defense underneath with this spell armor circle from this Bruiser camp.
Yeah, not really able to push that up at all with that spell armor there, and just with that bulky front line of Joe and Garrosh. Kind of hard to step up, especially without that Dragon's Arrow. That big follow-up CC damage burst is going to be a big tool in their arsenal. But now it is 4 defending 5 up in the top. Garrosh going to throw the Urel away, just making sure that his team is able to get out. Variation stepping up aggressively, has the Ardent Defender in hand if needed. But that is the first structure of the game going down. Top fort, bottom fort barely surviving with the defense of Joanna.
Wow, just barely a sliver here. Now, red team is in this interesting spot here. If they get the turn right away, their lanes will be very pushed to their side, but do they want to stall? Probably not. This is definitely an interesting situation for them as they come to crash down here on the blue team that's in mid a little bit.
Yeah, 16's coming in on the horizon. That said, they do have the potential for a double turn-in. Good throwaway there by Snag to prevent the engage. But they do have potentially a double turn-in, provided that no one dies. They could turn, push with the phase, and then immediately turn after. So that extra pressure could help if they're able to get the turn. Right now, solid defense coming in from Tainted Orphans.
Yep, finds the Urel. Will she be able to jump out? No, just able to walk her way right on out of that.
Yeah, you don't want to commit too many resources to Urel when she has that Ardent Defender up. That said, they're probably going to need to find some kind of pick in order to get enough space control to find these turn-ins. That said, at the moment, either Crow or Cassia could solo turn to proc the phase, so that does help them make more sneaky plays.
Tassadar's double storm there gonna block both Cassia and Joe from that.
Ooh, little great bit of unstoppable there.
Yeah, the team's a little bit isolated around this big old wall. Snag gonna come in, not quite sure how he wants to join his team here, as Tassadar's gonna wall him out.
Yeah, and now 16 has hit for Tainted Orphan, so PSRL just gonna have to play patient for the time being. Cassia up in the top looking for 16, but Gul'dan comes in. Oh, what a great into the fray to save Professor Bobo, but now it's Garrosh. Oh, the Horrify! They trade ults to save it, or trade abilities to save each other. There's the big Valkyrie. They're looking for the Hanzo. If they get this turnaround kill, what an amazing turnaround on that fight. Oh my goodness. Gul'dan was dead to rights, Snag was dead to rights, but they both saved each other, and now the chase is on, and Will to Live may be seeing that will about to fail. Bridge to Death gonna sacrifice. That is souls, so he will be back soon to make sure that Will to Live got out, but still, that is a lot of souls to lose at this point in the game, and that will be Winterheart getting this turn in, and PSRL now with a chance to take an assertive step in this game, as they may have caught Urel out.
Our defender is down, so they can get this CC to lock her in. She will not be able to heal up.
Oh, the turnaround engage! Bridge to Death finds Garrosh with the wall bang. Garrosh stepping up. They're looking for the root. They have the taunt as well, and it is Bridge to Death going to go down again. And now with Gul'dan here, they have a lot of chance to make a lot of value happen. Looks like they're going to turn their attention to mid lane. But PSRL, just in the last minute and a half, has completely switched this game from being death by 1,000 cuts, it looked like, to now assertively taking control.
Yeah, and remember, they have a whole turn on the back of this ready to go. They are held by Crow, so they're looking at combo 2 of these right in a row.
They are indeed. They get the mid fort. Valkyrie comes out, almost catches Hanzo out, but a great dodge once again. Top fort has gone down as well to the undefended Webweaver, but it looks like they want to open up forts, get those katas, get that passive XP on the side of PSRL, so they do turn their attention to the bottom lane. And Crow has a solo turn-in available for the next Webweaver phase.
They got to make sure they don't overstay their welcome too far. They know that Tacitar's top. They're then out pushing that wave. So they do have numbers, but Diablo's looking for a flank here, hiding in this bush.
He is looking for the flank. Tacitar, though, not available yet. So all he's going to be able to do, potentially stun. No, actually gets spotted out there by the Gul'dan. Joe currently rotating top. Secret Agent Joanna looking for that turn-in. And the rest of the team rotating up to be able to peel. Joe is going to get this turn, and this is going to be an immediate follow-up Webweaver phase. Very well done there by PSRL.
And look at this wave top. This is going to be very far pushed in here. Blue team immediately going to push that back.
Yeah, they do have a catapult to help a bit, but it is low health, and it would get taken out by just one of the spider lasers. I don't know what they're called, but you know what I mean.
The death wave.
Yeah. Is that actually the formal name? I apologize if not. Nonetheless.
I'm guessing. I think it is, though. I don't know.
Nonetheless, looks like they are going to turn their attention to top. They did get the wave cleared mid. Bottom, they're kind of just ignoring. The Webweaver is there, but the kind of spawned a bit weird. Minions kind of pathing around it right now, but it should get moving towards that fort. That said, looks like this defense will be focused into the top. Garrosh defending the flank, making sure nobody backflanks them. Valkyrie, good dodge once again by the members of Tainted Orphans. Here comes the Dragon's Arrow. Once again, doesn't quite land. Garrosh just throwing Yrel out of the back line. I think that's the wise move, just to clean disengage that. That said, Garrosh decided it was time to take a nap, and now might have a hard time escaping. Nope, does escape. Yep. Bottom fort, though, has gone down.
4 ults available for each team, so both kind of here on even footing.
They are available. You look at the ults that are down. Both are really big engage tools for each team. Valkyrie and the Dragon's Arrow, or at least follow-up tools anyway. But still opportunities for a fight, and you got to think right now, though, both teams just thinking we want to find 20. We want to get, in this case, our camps into the lane. And that's the top goal. Both teams with a turn-in available, by the way.
Oh, it's going to be a race here.
It is, but I think Waffle needs to turn in for them to have enough. And on the other side, it is Red winning. Waffle just hanging back a bit. I think they were worried about the engage, reasonably so, but that last turn-in making the difference here. And now the third Webweaver in a row for PSOR, but they do need to start finding keeps with these.
Yeah, they're about to find 20, so that might be a big help here. That heroic talent tier advantage might be what they need.
Yeah, looking for the stun talents. Once again, another dodge. Looking for these Valkyries in good places in the gates, but just really good discipline there by Bridge to Death. Not to panic, not to try to run back to safety, but instead getting out of the Valkyrie and then peeling back. Very well done to dodge that ult. And, ooh, Gul'dan is low, sleeping in the back line. Gonna get some heals from Decker to get back into this. But this mid keep is faltering, and it's about to go down.
Yeah, and bottom Webweaver's pushing up, as is the top. Red team has their choice of where they want to head next.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pick one to defend. Looks like they're sending Ana down bot with Task, but that is gonna be 5v at the moment 2 in the top, looking for this keep. The rotations, though, now coming in. They are going in aggressively for this Diablo. The root comes in. You're almost in the backline. Once again, Snag with the excellent throw. But there's the Dragon's Arrow they were looking for with the APOC follow-up. The Horrify comes out, though, to disengage that, but Lighthouse is separated out. He is going to go down, and now Snag is going to follow, and that is the opportunity Tainted Orphans need to start turning this game back around.
Good Hanzo air to dismount here. Winterheart dropping a little bit low, but probably will make it out of here alive. Crow anchoring in this bush to help Bobo and Winterheart make it out. But this is going to be a quick boss call for blue team.
Yeah, quick boss call, absolutely the call here. I like the heads-up play by Lighthouse. Looking for this Bruiser camp, but I think Variations may be sniffing it out. Crow is here to help, as is Professor Bobo, so at least they're going to put pressure on the mid and force a defensive response, whereas this boss turn possibility on the top could be a game-ending opportunity for Tainted Orphans. Assuming they're going to go for the... They haven't capped boss actually yet. They're gonna I think start the turns and then cap. Yeah, there we go. And
really
actually
well,
holding this too to make sure it syncs up with the Web Weaver. Good decision here.
Yeah, really well timed. They're probably, I assume they're looking to end. I mean, with 2 keeps down on their side, it'll be really hard to live through another curse. So they're looking to run it down top lane right now.
They're going to look to run it down. Actually, though, it looks like they're going to go mid first, pick up this fort, make sure they have other opportunities. In fact, I think they're going to split in order to force a decision and try to equalize. It is difficult to end on this map, especially. The objective is not particularly strong, so they are going to instead look to try to equalize mid-keep here and at least upset some of that catapult pressure they're going to be going against otherwise.
I mean, there you go. What do I know? But
ooh, but that Valkyrie, there's no escaping there. There's the taunt. Diablo is going to be caught. There's the root. Horrify as well. They're blowing everything, but Diablo, with that soul shield, refuses to die. APOC looking for the turnaround on Lighthouse. Snag has to throw it away. Doesn't have to throw to get Yrel out of there. Big root from Deckard to push them back. And now Crow trying to separate out the enemy team, but Bridge to Death is about to go down to poison damage. Crow is also low. Art Defender using the back, but Diablo does go down. Can they find the turnaround kill on the Joe? They do, and that will be a 1-for-1 trade as both teams peel back to lick their wounds, but for the side of PSRL, they did save their mid-keep, at least for the time being, but now that they're cleaning up the top lane, love that. Stay aggressive, keep looking for it, and Diablo is still alive. It's a 5v4, albeit a soulless Diablo. It is full ginger Diablo.
Wow, you know, for a moment there, it looked like they weren't going to get either keep, but excellent combo again coming out of Tainted Orphans, locks that down, confirms those kills, and allows them to get both of those top middle keeps, equalizing this game. It's anyone's match right now.
And looking like they want to pressure up this bot lane as well. At least get some poke, maybe find another kill. Valkyrie has been used, but that time did not collect anyone. Root lands on the Hanzo, but the follow-up not really there. They don't have that Joe to step in. Dragon's Arrow looking for the Cassia. Diablo goes in. Snag flipping away. Snag, though, now low. Snag is going to drop. Winterheart's extremely low as well. And that might be enough to seal this game. Lighthouse gets wallbanged against his own keep, and Lighthouse has gone down. Professor Bobo trying to get the turnaround onto Bridge to Death, but does not succeed. Now they're going to disengage. Are they going to go for the core? It looks like for now they're focusing on just finishing this keep off. Ooh, there is the Hellgate combo, and they do find the kill off it. They find Cassia, and Bridge to Death is going to survive. Are they going for this core? That you have to imagine they are at this point. That's that Bridge to Death is just so low. Self-sustaining. Focus going on to the core, actually trying to get the Joe kill there. The shields are still up, but Garrosh won't be alive for another 18. Core is down to 70 and falling. 55. Last defense coming in, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And I think Tainted Orphans managed to turn around the triple Web Weaver cap into a post-20 victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Great job by them. What an intense match.
Wow, that was absolutely insane. Twilight Archon at the end of that game just getting an absolute absurd amount of value there.
Yeah, the Twilight Archon getting a ton of value, and it just felt like both teams were executing their combos so well. You got some missed ultimates here and there, but otherwise they were getting those combo kills, but it ultimately came down to the extra kills late in the game, especially on that top keep defense, that ultimately turned this game around. And let's go ahead and take a look at our post-game stats here. I mean, both healers really work in overtime this game. They had to do a lot of burst saves and managed to do so. But, wow, Tassadar and Gul'dan damage is extremely high.
Yeah, I mean, I am just this game was absolutely incredible. Some amazing play from all of these characters across these teams. Um, Jinxie Cat in chat saying this is going to just be all 5 games, and I think
I
that's
think it's going to
correct. I
be,
think
yeah.
we're in for an incredible series as we've just seen here in game number 1 on Two of the Spider Queen.
It is going to be an incredible series. Unfortunately, an unsightly return of the Game 1 curse for PSRL, who find themselves losing game number 1 in this series. But with that, I love the Ghost. There was, I think it was an NFL coach who posted it, but I love this quote from Ghost Dunk. You lose game 1, you're pissed, you go to PF Chang's, have lunch, and then you're on to the next game. I don't know if they have time for PF Chang's, but maybe they have a little leftover Chinese that they could nom into to get set for game 2. But we're gonna get set for game 2. Already an amazing series. Let's hope it continues. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay tuned. Thank you. All right, welcome back, everyone. DBSmiley, StoiC here. Excellent game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. If all 5 games are like this, there will actually be 5 games. Very close. Ultimately came down triple turn in a row for PSRL. Not enough to end the game. They got 2 keeps, and then the turnaround occurred, and it just felt like from there, bridge to death. Landed the combos a little bit tighter. Reaver hit Dragon's arrows, which was an improvement. And then ultimately turning that into a win. So we are heading to Towers of Doom here. Any thoughts on this one, StoiC?
Yes, I'm just still a little bit speechless after what we just watched there. I think that Towers of Doom is going to be another map where we're going to see a lot of exciting team fights happening. I mean, both of these teams had the plans and they ran them, and they found lots of opportunities for explosive fights. And I think that these altar phases are going to be long and drawn out with lots of back and forth. So I'm ready to take some more notes and learn how to play some great Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I mean the supports really made a lot of saves in that last game, as did a couple saves from Garrosh as well. But ultimately, really back and forth game. Expect the same here. This map can of course go a rather long time, but eventually, of course, it has to end as those altars get channeled and those sappers get walked in. But it looks like we're getting ready to hop into Towers of Doom, game number 2 between these two teams. Tainted Orphans up 1-0. We'll see if they can extend that lead or if PSRL takes us back to an effective best of 3.
Wow. As far as bans here, anything you're thinking any changes in the bans that we saw from game number 1?
The map is a little bit different. You might see I expect we'll still see the Tassadar banned out, but yeah, I expected you would see an Abba ban. Maybe Hanzo, who tends to be fairly strong on this map, but we saw the Abba ban. Tainted Orphan sticking with that Uther ban, not wanting to get Snag onto his favorite healer tank hybrid. Cassia banned out by PSRL, despite picking it first in the last game. Interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, I wonder they might have something sneaky planned for this first pick here then. I mean, maybe is this an Orphea? Is this
So Orphea was banned out in the first wave in the last match. And so Tainted Orphan sticking with the same bans. 2 new bans from PSRL. But they are going to snipe that Tass away this time. That Tass
It's my turn.
It is. And should note that with that hero, they haven't... We'll see. How much have they played? I'm addressing my notes here. They have been picking it more lately. 6-3 on the hero, so that's a very respectable record. But there's that Junkrat that was banned out last time. Still strong on this map. Not as strong as Tomb, but still very strong.
Yeah, I think Junkrat has lots of opportunities here to delay these altar phases. To maybe pull some cheeky plays of an invade or something else sneaky where Junkrat can just kind of stall with his ability to bounce those little mines off. What are those things are called? Grenades off of walls.
Are we? So is PSRL like? Yeah, you guys had a really good draft last game. I think we're gonna try that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here. Is the Ana and Diablo picked up? I mean, they pulled off some amazing combos, and a team like PSRL can definitely pull it off.
Yeah, PSRL is a good combo team. In fact, a lot of Snag's tanks that he plays really are designed for just setup with follow-up from Winterheart and Probobo, who have been very good assassins this season. Malthael going to get banned out, which, makes sense. Very strong double soak on this map with the On a Pale Horse. Greymane turned around on the most popular assassin pick from Tainted Orphans, so trying to keep that one out of their hands. So sensible bans, I think.
Yep. Man. Still need those bruisers for both teams. Tainted Orphans are still going to need their healer. Will it be a Deckard in a full trade? Oh.
Waffleman. So Waffleman does play quite a lot of Monk. Actually, since becoming the healer, Kharazim has been, I believe, their most played healer. Checking my notes here to make sure. Yeah, 4 games from Monk so far. Only 3 on other healers. But then to Dahaka, of course, that global rotation as well as the good wave clear.
Let's fly.
Yeah, that they played the Monk against in the A West Grand Finals to great success on Dragonshire. So I'm excited to see what Waffle can do here. Falstad, Sonya picked up here. Mm-hmm. Interesting picks. Falstad's a great one. Can fly to an altar or fly to a lane to defend.
And that might be you might see Professor Bobo swap to the Falstad. When I've casted them before, Bobo loves to go for those aggressive gusts to try to set up big engages, which you could certainly see. A gust maybe into a leap with an APOC follow as a big combo if they manage to get a lot of people against the wall. On the other hand, you know, the Hanzo, you know, I joked about the dodged Dragon's Arrows, but it ultimately turned the game around. So I like that pick as well. More poke, more stall. So I really like this draft out of Tainted Orphans.
Yeah, Orphans have so many tools to stall here. And those tools to stall can easily be turned around to pressure kind of squishy, vulnerable backliners, as in Falstad, Ana, and Tassadar are there.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, with that, go ahead.
I was just saying, lots of tools to get to those squishy boys.
So I'm looking at this draft and I say, I really like the draft out of Tainted Orphans. More like not a lot more, but a little bit more than as we take a look at it than PSRL. Who are you going with in this game?
Prepare yourself.
Maybe just to disagree with you, I think I'll go with PSRL. I like what they've got. We saw a similar draft work in game number 1. Now in the hands of the opponents, I think they'll take game number 2 here on Towers of Doom.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. Gonna go ahead and introduce the teams. On the left side, Tainted Orphans, Bridge to Death on the ATC, variations on Dahaka, Waffleman on that Iron Fist Monk, Raver is going to be once again on Hanzo, and Will to Live on the Junkrat. Looking to go up 2-0, but trying to stop them. Go ahead and introduce PSRL.
4, 3.
PSRL with Snag on Diablo, Winterheart on Falstad, Linehouse on Ana, Professor Bobo on Tassadar, and Crow on the Sonya. Looking to come back, tie this series up.
Indeed, as we take a look at those level 1 talents, once again the Q build out of the Hanzo. ETC going with that Prog Rock to help supplement, you know, the admittedly somewhat lackluster healing of a Iron Fist Monk. We'll see what happens here. Early wave clear edge slightly favoring PSRL. They might be able to get the lanes quicker. In fact, do have Sonya up in the top and should be able to rotate down perhaps better as well. Junkrat, though, going to do a good job dismounting and disrupting. And that's exactly what he wants to do. Go ahead.
Falstad just kind of going up top and back to mid as Hanzo and both Falstad stay there to catch that mid-so.
Indeed, and thank you for dropping the Matcherino link for the prize pool for NGS Storm Division. Guys, let's get a good prize pool, get the best talent. We already got some of the Korean gods coming in to NGS. Let's see if we can get some of the LOL NA gods back as well. Go ahead and donate. I think I'm matching up to another $40, but I'm not. I haven't checked since we've started the cast. Both teams moving on to their pumpkins.
Equal times here. Ravar going to help over the wall. Snag recognizing that gank unlikely is going to anchor in this bush, but still is ready to go here.
Yep. Now, right now, Falstad is a bit low in the mid with 2 people pushing against him. You got to be careful of that Hanzo. He can always turn it sideways to go for the kill shot, as we saw early in that Tomb of the Spider Queen game.
Yeah, that's true. Ravar can hit those shots. He's looking for them.
Indeed. You got to be careful. Your gate is not safety. Your gate is death, is what we learned. But a big wave push here on the bottom. And it's actually Diablo kind of flipping ETC in order to be able to get away. Looks like both should neutralize out. Maybe Blue survive a bit longer, but actually both teams very even, as we would expect here in this bottom lane.
Yeah, very even here. Interesting, about this map, while we have a second here as these teams continue to rotate, usually we see the double soaker. Thoughts here while we're seeing this, the 1-1-3?
I think part of it is with the Falstad. They want to make sure that they don't lose even an ounce of soak early. They're really playing for that post 10. That said, the Dahaka does have that stacking speed talent, which is going to enable him to soak pretty quickly here. Falstad without Boomerang doesn't have the same thing. Ooh, it looks like, speaking of pickouts here, Professor Bobo might barely escape unless Waffleman has another couple of punches in him. He does not.
Alters trade in the top. Crow looking around for a flank. Finds a little bit of a slam there on a Ravar, but is going to get stunned immediately by Bridge to death. Locked down and punched to death.
And that will be a 4-shot on the core lead heading over to Tainted Orphans early. That said, of course, this map, one of the maps that most enables a late-game comeback. Winterheart, though, is going to have a hard time finding the emergency exits here.
Can he find it through the wall? Not going to make it.
No, had used the barrel roll to escape towards the top, but then didn't really have anywhere to go, cut off. And, you know, the pickoffs now, that's 2 big pickoffs in favor of Tainted Orphans. PSRL gonna have to stop those and find some pickoffs of their own.
You mentioned this before, those Junkrat mines doing a lot of good work here, messing up these rotations. Snag getting rooted occasionally as he looks to go up and get some of that flanking for his team.
And Sapper's currently being started on by Tainted Orphans. No Sapper work yet, although Falstad does have Bribe, taking a look, only at 26 stacks, so not enough to claim a camp at this point. But we will now see potentially an invade. A lot of damage going out to both teams. And of course, Monk gonna have a hard time healing that up in any reasonable fashion. Falstad does go in and use a Bribe, starting to work on it. Looks like maybe an engage down here on the bottom looking at Snag, but he does manage to escape out of that. Walking these sappers in now, and here comes the charge. And they do get a tower. Falstad does, however, finish the camp, barrel roll over the wall to get away.
Yeah, excellent work there. Being quite safe. That root would have been very bad in the bush there. Good use of terrain here.
And double altar phase in the bottom. Now, Dahaka has a global and Sonya doesn't, so you gotta think that this does favor Tainted Orphans here. PSRL, I think, would be very happy to just trade out. Falstad starting to work on the channel, but Junkrat and Hanzo gonna work together and make sure nothing happens. Oh, here comes a big engage. They get the tongue onto Crow. There is so much follow-up damage and just not able to get the self-sustained whirlwind. They do get the pickoff. That said, PSRL did manage to channel the bottom in that duration, so not letting the death go completely to waste as they at least trade out and get 4 points for 4. Linehouse, though, is in a very sticky spot. Good peel there from Snag.
Yeah, excellent distraction there, disrupting so Linehouse can escape. Grandma Anna lives another day.
Indeed, and with that, Winterheart and Crow both in the mid. They need to find level 10s now. You see the Mosh, Dragon's Arrow, 7-sided, Riptire, and the Isolation here.
Oof.
And there comes the 7-sided off the power slide. Great timing, and that was a Diablo that no longer exists. Oh, and Linehouse just gets chased down, nowhere to go. And even though they take a lot of tower shots, they grabbed a second kill. There's now 5 kills to 0 in favor of Tainted Orphans, who are about to take a big lead in this game if they can convert this bottom tower.
Crow and Winterheart looking to find variations up top. Variations with an excellent burrow. Misses the gust and will escape.
And that NASCAR Dahaka, or the, what is it, Dahaka Veyron, or the Bugatti Dahaka? I don't remember which is funnier, but in either case, that speed talent making sure no one's catching. Although, perhaps I spoke too soon, as actually it was Falstad finding Dahaka there. No bushes around that mid lane, so Dahaka did go down. Pumpkin Sappers being grabbed, though, by Tainted Orphans as they look to add even more pressure to this bottom lane. Solar Altar phase, it is in the bottom.
Falstad just used his gust, so he's going to have to walk the old-fashioned way down to this. Kharazim recognizing his junk as Kharazim goes to support, and Junkrat will channel with his bottom altar being in favor of the Tainted Orphans. It looks like this is going to go uncontested.
It is, and that'll make the score 32-23, so that gap now 9 points. And if these sappers get in, that could be even worse. We'll see how much they commit to pushing these sappers in versus trying to steal the sappers and maybe go another round. Tacit are doing a good defense.
Yeah. Man, you know, here's what's interesting. Dahaka is just occupying both Sonya and Falstad so much. It's a constant 4v3 here in this bottom lane, as Falstad just now joined to push these last sappers back.
And every time that Dahaka doesn't die, he keeps soaking. Here comes the engage. Big Dragon's Arrow. Bobo is low. Good peel there by Snag to prevent the engage. But 3 more sappers on the way. Each of these that get in turns into a point on the core. ETC power slides in. Sappers are cleaned up, but still this bottom fort, about 40% health, still held by Tainted Orphans.
Yeah. If this next altar phase spawns soon, they're going to have to leave it and rotate up.
And there is the route onto Diablo, who gets separated out. Charges out of the 7-sided, but so low and can't find the escape. And Diablo goes down. And Sonya has actually gone down to Dahaka while we were focused on that. Not exactly sure how that happened. It looked like a 2v1. So that is 2 deaths that are really going to hurt heading into this next altar phase, as you are seeing the aggressive rotation from Tainted Orphans, looking to grab potentially 10 shots here.
Oh, wow. You know, Professor Bubbles here looking to try and burn this fort down. Will the minions be alive? No, this fort lives. Possibly 10 points channel.
Yeah, possibly, as it was just too big an opportunity cost to stay bottom. So at this point, they're thinking if we could just trade out 5 for 3, that might be the better play. And they're on their way to do that. Crow does get interrupted. There's the engage onto Monk. Big Dragon's Arrow with the stun. 7-sided, doing a lot of sprint damage, but it's the Riptire that comes in and claims 2. And that might be Sonya going down as well. It is Snag going to retreat out of there, and that will be 10 points. Heading over to the core total. It is now 32-13, and I think it's about to be 32-9.
Wow, that combo was so perfectly timed there from Tainted Orphans. Diablo's APOC came as fast as it could, but it was his team was already gone before it even hit.
And here come the 4 shots from the boss, making this game 32-13. But that said, at least the bottom has been converted back. They can at least try to get their feet under them now, but PSLR have to find a way to start getting some kills and not die as much, simply put.
Yeah, I mean, not dying is winning, as I've heard said so many times here. Level 16 talent here about to be picked up, though, from Tainted Orphans, is they're going to be in a commanding spot with a possible lethal on the next altar phase.
And they are potentially looking to try to steal this with the concussion mine. That said, Diablo does get the combo on the ETC. That does disengage them as Hanzo is in the back, grabbing their own pumpkin sappers. There is a bit of a wave here stacked up for PSRL. Can they make something happen with it? They got to be careful, though. ETC looking for the engage. There's the power slide onto Snag. Separate out a bit by the wall. Dragon's Arrow with the 7-sided. Diablo goes down once again. And they are just nuking Diablo every chance they get. Those 7-sideds have been timed so well with CC to get every last ounce of that damage out. Yeah, and now, once again, bottom keep reconverted. This is lethal if they get
Diablo.
2. Go ahead.
The 20-soul Diablo dies so fast here, and you just nailed it there. That like there are 3 up. The blue team only needs 2 to take this to end this one here.
And Diablo's down for another 5, and he's going to have to walk back the old-fashioned way. So PSRL has to take a desperation fight in the top, but it is going to be 4v5. There's the isolation on the Sonya, preventing the whirlwind for the self-sustain. And now they're peeling back and recognizing they don't have to make the aggressive play. They are going to defend their own turn-in. Diablo is now joining, but the health bars have dropped. The nano boost was used. Winterheart taking a big chunk there from Raver. ETC power sliding in. Has the face melt to buy space. There's the tongue onto Diablo. The Mighty Gust is used, but Diablo separate out from the rest of the team. Can he find that stun combo to get PSR Bell back into this game? There's a big stun. Power slide comes through. Diablo goes down. Crow goes down. And that will be the game. Winterheart gonna go down as well. It is all academic. You don't need an abacus. You just need to channel the point. And that was a dominant showing by Tainted Orphans. Absolutely dominant.
Yeah, only giving up 2 altar channels in this 12-minute, 40-second game here on Towers
And one
of
last
Doom.
kill for the Bucks.
That KDA.
Wow, what a just utterly dominant showing by Tainted Orphans. That was 32 points still on their core. After the second altar phase, they didn't lose a single altar. That is insane.
Yeah, you know, resident tank main Jinxie Cat in chat says poor solo frontline Diablo, and I think that's right. It's struggled. Like Sonya was consistently with Falstad rotating between top and mid, the two of them together, and that left Diablo with a tough task of trying to keep an Ana and Tassadar safe.
Indeed, it was very difficult, and Ana, it often feels like can be win harder, lose harder. If you're able to get the engages the way you want them, that grenade follow up is a great way to almost certainly secure a kill. On the other hand, if you start losing, she just doesn't have the burst until 16 at best to really save anyone, so you have to stay aggressive, and they simply weren't able to do that with the deaths, with the fact that Tahaka was baiting in both the Falstad and the Sonya to defend him all the time. So just a really, really strong game from Tainted Orphans. But we're going to get set up for game number 3. Hopefully it's not the last game. However, Tainted Orphans is on championship point. We'll see who wins. When we come back, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. DBSmiley here, joined by StoiC. And after Game 1, we were saying, all right, Game 5 series, it's going to be so close. And then Game 2 happened, and we're like, what? 32 points left on the core for Tainted Orphans. Didn't give up a single core point after the second Shrine phase. And got 16-1 kills. Absolutely dominant showing. StoiC, what does PSRL got to do?
You know, I think that banning Hanzo might be a possible pick there. Hanzo's made it through both of these drafts. Raybar showed incredible play on that. Was a great, consistent damage hitting those storm bows, as well as incredible engage from the Dragon Arrow. I think Hanzo's earned himself a ban in Game 3, and I think it's probably step 1.
Indeed, that is step 1, and Rayvar really been a great hero, but we are jumping into the draft. This could be the last game of Division A this season. We're all hoping not because of anything against Tainted Orphans, but come on, who wants a 3-0 in Grand Finals as we head into this final series, this Finals series, not Final Series, into this draft for Game 3. We'll see if that Hanzo ban comes out. So far, Tainted Orphans has stuck with the Uther Orphea. I don't think that will change unless there's something unique that PSRL maybe does on this map they want to avoid.
Yeah, this is PSRL's best map left in their pool, available. They're the highest record. They've got map picks, so they have the last pick available here. I think they're going to pull out something well practiced here for us.
And once again, the Uther ban, they simply just don't want to deal with it, and it's hard to blame them, as you can see that Uther has been very successful for Snag. 5-1 on the hero. There's the Junkrat ban though, turning right around, taking Will to Live off that hero as we pull up the stats for that as well. Getting that up. 6-0 on the hero. Well, not anymore. 7-0 on the hero now. It's been really strong.
Definitely been a key playmaker. Wow. Same bans. Tainted Orphans had a plan, and they're sticking to it.
And it's been working, so it's hard to blame them. I mean, that Game 1 felt like it could have gone either way, but, those are clearly very strong heroes picked. Winterheart, you can see, very strong. That Orphea. Cassia banned out by PSRL. Ever since her rework, she has been very dominant, even after the kind of mini nerf she got, to bring her back to the level of mere mortals, albeit very strong mortals, like Herculean mortals. Demigods, if you will. Tassadar, though, immediate ETC Blaze picked up. What do you think of that?
I think that Snag had a tough time last game, said I need somebody up there in the front with me. Blaze is a good option to give some more stuns, some more crowd control, set things up. Wow. This Diablo task combo that keeps going back and forth here.
Yeah, Diablo getting a very high pick rate in the season, and yet we did see some nerfs to ETC and Joe in the last patch. Still, though, this is a map where you typically think, yeah, Diablo was still pretty good here, so I think it's a good pick. And then I just think Deckard is incredibly bonkers strong on this map with the almost guaranteed value of Ruby.
Yeah, there's that Hanzo ban. Well-deserved. I mean, Hanzo into the already scary combo that's coming out is definitely a good call.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that. Tassadar builds the wall, Diablo wall bangs it, and then you got a dragon beating you against the wall even further. Last ban to come in. What are they going to take away? It is the Ana. That is a hero that Linehouse quite likes to play, and it also takes away a lot of the Ana synergies, that nano boost value that you can get, such as putting, Jaina behind this CC combo of ETC Blaze and just nano icy veins. Lol, someone dies. I like that decision.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder what healer we're going to see here. Stukov, a good choice in general. Strong heals.
Yeah, it does have that flailing swipe to help disengage. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh yeah, flailing swipe. There is an APOC stay a while listen combo coming up, and Stukov is a great way to say, nope, get back. I don't like you guys.
That will help the Flailing Swipe. Also, 16 talent Super Strain will be very effective against that. That said, until then, my concern is the Stukov is very blow-upable. And I really like the picks they just made to synergize with what they have. They have Raver on the Tracer, which was banned out in Game 1. Kind of, we forgot about it because of how god tier the Hanzo has been. But then the Urel coming out again, which I thought was incredibly disruptive in Game 1 in favor of Tainted Orphans. What's this last pick going to be? You got to imagine it's damage. What are we putting the Winterheart Hyper Carry on?
Oh, man.
Arthas! What?
Triple fine. Oh, baby.
So I should note that one of the interesting stats I keyed in on heading into this game as we take a look at this draft. One of the stats I keyed in on was that so Tainted Orphans has the third smallest hero pool in Division A of teams that finished the season. PSRL has the second largest. So if we were going to see some crazy stuff tonight, it was going to come from that right-hand side of the screen. And they are delivering. It is a triple warrior Greymane. And I will say the Tracer's going to have a harder time getting value as really the only kill target is the Stukov.
Yeah, I mean, again, an unconventional comp. In Game 1, the Johanna Garrosh double front line worked well, and maybe they're saying, you know what, we got to go triple. We got to go all in here, and that's what we're seeing with Blaze, ETC, and Arthas.
Actually, a little bit of swapping coming in here. Just to note, it is going to be actually Crow and Winterheart switching heroes, but we'll get into that as we get into this game. Hopefully it's not the last one. Tainted Orphans up 2-0 on championship point. Let's go ahead and introduce them. It's going to be Bridge to Death on Diablo. Variations once again on Urel. Waffleman is not on Karazim, on Deckard. Apologies for that. Raver on the Tracer and Will to Live on Tassadar. It is your A West champions, Tainted Orphans. Go ahead and introduce PSL.
A
whatever.
Champions fighting for their tournament life on the line. It is PSLR with Blaze, played by Winterheart, ETC by Snag, Arthas by Crow, Greymane by Professor Bobo, and Stukov by Linehouse.
Indeed, and taking a look at those level 1 talents, and I just want to apologize to PSRL as we said their name wrong 3 different ways there in the intro alone. I'm just gonna start calling them Simon and Garfunkel because I think that works better. But with that, both teams trying to set up for that initial wave clear. Certainly, you got to think the Tassadar team has the advantage. ETC, though, power sliding in aggressively. There's the face melt. There's the Blaze done with the silence from Stukov with the slow. That does chunk out some good damage into those warriors. But all in all, pretty milquetoast opening. No kills there, which I don't think we can say about the last couple games. At least not so far. Ooh, Tassadar, power slide. Should be able to escape. Snag now is rooted. Bridget's not quite able to get that wall bang, but saw the idea there, and I do like it. But Greymane going to rotate mid, help Blaze with this soak. Raver just trying to harass, make sure to pick up this mid soak, possibly look for some ganks as PSRL rotates into their siege camp. However, in the bottom, it is Tass and Deckard on the neutral.
Interesting. I wonder if Red Team will pick up on this and go for an invade. No, looks like they will. ETC thinking about scouting it, not quite going to. Raver going to go.
Ooh, Stukov broke the cardinal rule. That it was a face check. That said, might be able to get out. No, there's the root, and that is going to be Linehouse going down. Just not a safe check. Great position by Bridge to Death. Great instant flip to punish, and that is first kill. Once again, heading over to Tainted Orphans.
Oof, yeah. A little bit of vision control there. Stukov needs to be one of those. Stukov's a key part of this to keep that Greymane alive, so it can be a hyper carry. Bobo, we'll see how that works though. Arthas running top, holding his own. His variations and Will to Live clearing that mid wave.
Yeah. Now keep in mind a big power spike with this Stukov comp is going to be level 7, assuming they go into the growing infestation. And I don't think they need the extra healing, so I doubt we'll see a targeted excision or a long pitch. They really want that lockdown. So that will be a big power spike off this CC train of Blaze ETC. They need to stay competitive until then and avoid these these off-lane deaths.
Yep. Blaze rocking this new build here, this basic attack, Incinerator Gauntlets with the Adrenaline Stim Pack, getting that extra damage to minions, mercenaries, and monsters, as well as a ton of attack speed.
Yeah, and that's going to help with their camp clear significantly, or not just their camp clear, excuse me, their shrine clear, as the bottom shrine will come up in a second. Tassadar, the big shrine clear on the side of Tainted Orphans, but let's see how it goes now. Already, go ahead.
Coming down.
They're coming in. ETC Blaze maybe looking for an engage angle. They actually steal. Blaze steals a healthy number of minions there, making it 10-10 now, despite the late arrival. Are they going to go for Bridge to Death? The slows are coming in. There's a big Deckard Root and Ruby combo. Diablo goes in, doesn't quite get the wall bang. Little bit of an awkward bounce there. And now trying to separate out Arthas. Arthas taking a ton of damage. Rest of the team zoned out. Tracer throws in the Pulse Bomb, tries to find the finish, and the health bar is just so high because of these Deckard Rubies. It just felt like with the Triple Warrior, the Greymane never able to pull the trigger on looking for a kill. And this should be Tainted Orphans grabbing the first objective, now up 31-26, and with the man advantage.
Yeah, you know, that was an excellent wall there from Tassadar, isolating that arc.
He just got pulled out of his jet charge. Winterheart just got pulled out of jet charge. They're going to keep on him, and Tracer is not going to let the escape occur, I don't think. Jet charge comes out, but Tracer has the blink, and that was a big kill on the Blaze. Great job there by Bridge to Death, ending the jet charge before it even begins, putting it on full cooldown, and now ETC trapped by the Roots from both, from Deckard, taking so much damage from that Mortar Punisher, and Tainted Orphans already taking a big lead in this game, up a 4 level, 4 kills to 0, and now have a fort to their name as well.
Wow, first Punisher does not usually get a fort here, but excellent work there by Blue Team, capitalizing on those kills to take a structured advantage, and looks like they're going to steal this camp mid as well.
They're going to steal this camp, and now level 7 here, they have that growing infestation that might enable them to look for some of these kills. They're going to need to start finding some, though, as right now they haven't even really been able to get a lot of damage out, and that's kind of the risk with this Triple Warrior build. The goal is to be unkillable, but it's also a little bit less damage coming out, and as yet, the Deckard has been able to keep up with it with that Ruby.
Yeah, you know, this Tracer here by Raybar just getting so much value. Every time someone's isolated, Tracer just literally running circles around them and pumping them full of lead.
Well, and the separation that Diablo has provided has been nothing short of spectacular here. I mean, especially that overpower right as Winterheart was going for the jet charge. And then at that point, Winterheart really just had nowhere to go. And so, yeah, it takes Tracer, you know, half a minute to kill Blaze, but she had half a minute. So they're going to have to really make sure they're minding their P's and Q's. That is their positioning and their quasitioning. Nonetheless, Diablo goes in, tries to find Blaze there. Blaze going to be okay, though, for the time being. But really big pressure onto this bottom, and they are going for Professor Bobo. And by getting him low, they're actually going to prevent him from engaging, giving them more chance to pressure.
Arthas was up top just a moment ago, trying to get them equalized on those talent tiers. Level 10 still half a level away. Midwell just fell.
Midwell is down. That will help on the next shrine. Be a big advantage for Tainted Orphans. And they start to rotate down, but they decide, you know what? We're not done. We have one more argument to make. As they continue to keep the pressure here in this mid. Arthas has gone down to soak bot and has finally found level 10 for PSRL. We, of course, saw the AoE Pulse Bomb. It's APOC, Stay a While and Listen, Ardent Defender, and Archon coming out from Tainted Orphans. On the other side, Combustion, Mosh, Syndragosa, Cursed Bullet, and Flailing Swipe. And that Syndragosa will get a lot of value, ... He pauses for dramatic effect, if you win an objective. But so far, it looks like PSRL is going to have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, I mean, if they could find, they could definitely roll this.
Oh,
Finding
Arthas,
one with combustion.
the gank is coming.
Does he know?
I think he did, but as soon as he started to back up, Yrel dismounted and then had the knockback. And the cavalry is coming to try to save, but they're just recognizing that situation is stuck. And actually, Snag kind of trapped behind a wall there. Takes a bit of damage. But that is a death right before the objective. Tainted Orphans could not have timed that pick off any better, as that will almost certainly secure them. This next Punisher, and Winterheart stayed a bit too long. Oh, and once again pulled out of the jet charge, but actually maybe pulled the safety there. Did manage to escape that time. Flailing swipe, though, down from Linehouse. Arthas is now back up, and it's only 12 to 15. ETC is going to leave that Bruiser Camp top, and they need to get a big combo. Something like a power slide into the combustion, maybe a big mosh. Here comes the Syndra. There's the mosh. It's catching Tass onto the back line. Sleep comes in to interrupt, but a big silence from Stukov. Now the Roots coming in. Health bar's low. Will to Live is going to be the first to fall. Ardent Defender has come out. Bridge to depth, though. Extreme low. Snag. Power sliding through. Looking for the opportunity. There's the big Root. On to Linehouse, who's dropping the silence again. No gets flipped out of it. The ping's coming in. They want to get onto Snag. Reaver, though, so low. Not going to be able to go back in. Professor Bobo binding face. And during that whole time, PSRL does win their first objective and now look for an opportunity to maybe start turning this game around, but at the cost of their fort top that ETC left to the Bruisers.
Yeah, and they're not going to have Syndragosa with this push here, so we'll see what this Arcane Punisher can get as it jumps over the wall, pulled by Raybar and Bridge to Death as they work on it, and it's gonna fall before it gets to this fort. Red Wave is going to push up with, but I don't know if the damage will be there to take this mid-structure.
Yeah, they weren't really able to get the follow-up there. They didn't have, I think, enough in terms of kills that they got a kill, but they weren't able to turn that immediate. And actually an immediate invade onto the siege, and this is a 5v4. They get out of the APOC, big flailing swipe. If they can just escape, that will be huge. Winterheart, once again, get flipped away. Actually, the silence might buy enough space. Winterheart, though, is about to drop to the pulse bomb. No, is alive because of the armor. ETC, though, in the middle of a bunch of blue health bars. He's going to drop. Raver does get the finish on the Blaze as well, and that is 2 for nothing, and they might grab Linehouse here, too. Nope, Linehouse, good job with the weighted pustule, forcing Raver to disengage or else face the wrath of that Greymane. But now the rotation coming in once again onto Crow. Tainted Orphans just staying so aggressive, and there is a great wallbang angle from Bridge to Death, but the health bar falling on the other side and the silence disengaging it, and actually a really good turnaround there, procced off by Linehouse, and that got Diablo's souls.
Yeah, I mean, that was a 3v4.
Hold up, Crow! Trap on the wall! Sorry, I'm trying to give you a chance to get it in, but there's so much play-by-play to do. Finally, they managed to escape and maybe regroup a bit. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't even remember this. This is just constant aggression here from Tainted Orphans. I mean, they are just not letting the pressure up.
They're not, and they've been able to secure a lot of pickoffs as a result. And now they are going to get their own siege camp into the lane. All 3 forts down for PSRL, and that is going to make it hard for them to get that passive XP. It's going to make them lose the race to 20 more unless they start getting some value. That said, possibly engage here on the Diablo. They get the jet charge. There's the power slide as well. Taswall actually trapping Diablo in. He blows the APOC. Silence comes down. That's going to break it. Syndragosa, Blaze on the back line looking for Waffle. Diablo just powering through like Marshawn Lynch at the 2-yard line, or he would have gone if Pete Carroll were a better coach. Nonetheless, they do manage to disengage that and get cleaned up the siege that was stolen by PSRL. And that's right, I slipped in a Super Bowl Pete Carroll bad play call reference into a team fight. I'm just that good.
Well done. That was a camp taken by PSRL, but a very expensive one, costing Syndragosa and Combustion there.
Yeah, it did get out APOC and stay a while, though, but now the invade coming in top, and it just seems that Tainted Orphans, recognizing the 16 advantage, they're very content to rotate a 16 and just paint this map blue.
Yeah, next objective can be top. Blue will have the advantage as there's no fort or well to back onto.
And this will be a frozen Punisher, as we have seen the Arcane and the Mortar. Frozen Punisher will shut down the keep wall and allow for some big engage here.
Second Bruiser camp being taken by the Tainted Orphans here. So, Red Team, Yrel's already begun attacking these Shrine minions. Red Team needs to push up.
They do, but they also need to find 16 in the process, so that's why they took the time to clear that camp up. Now need to snap their 16. That super strain is going to be a massive, massive improvement for the members of PSRL as the Cursed Bullet comes in, bridge to death, getting low, and finally they land that combo, but now Greymane separated out, Pulse Bomb comes out, Flailing Swipe used to buy in space, but that is a 3-man route. Syndragosa trying to disengage it, Winterheart has to jet charge away, Raver on the chase, Fine Blaze, Mosh gets interrupted, there's 1-for-1 at the moment, and a sleeping Greymane might be the next to fall. Waffleman stepping up, finds the route on the Stukov, variation slowing down the disengage. Now the ping's coming in. They want that kill. Arthas is low. Tassadar trucking out so much damage. Tracer finds another finish. Linehouse silencing around himself, just trying to be the sacrificial lamb so the rest of his team can get away, but they're not going to as Snag goes down as well. 4-for-1 trade, and Tainted Orphans is starting to think about a championship.
Oh, wow. That Tassadar Tracer combo is very brutal there. We watched it, ETC just like got cracked, and then Tracer said, I'll take those last few health bars.
And with that, yeah, I mean, just they were able to get that first kill, but then at that point they didn't have an exit strategy. This is not a geopolitical statement, as they tried to run away, took a ton of damage on the reverse. Yrel just variations sitting on top of that back line and just refusing to let them go, and allowing Tracer all the time she needed to get those finishes. And now this Punisher has been finished. It is picked up, and this Frozen Punisher will push down this already softened top keep, and this could potentially be your Division A championship ending right here, barring an absolutely immaculate defense coming in from PSRL.
Yeah, they're going to put everything they have here. They're grabbing this camp mid to create some counter pressure to hopefully distract the Orphans, but they're going to show fight here. They're ready to defend. They're looking for that.
Oh, there's the APOC wallbang. ETC power slides through, but Winterheart is low. There's the combustion, Syndragosa, but that is Blaze going down. That is the first kill, and there's a root onto Crow, rooted by the Punisher. He goes down as well. Big stun comes in. Root gonna land on the Stukov. That's gonna be another kill, you would imagine. ETC power slides through. Isn't enough to get Lighthouse at least back to the Hall of Storms. He does, but now ETC rooted, cut off by the wall. There's the Mosh, hits 3, Silence, trying to buy ETC at least the time to get away. But all this while, the shields starting to fall onto the core. Now Greymane getting pushed against the wall, gets back to the Hall, as does the rest of the team. The shields are still standing, but for how much longer? This is the last act of a desperate team coming in. But the GGs are being said. The core is down to 25%, and Tainted Orphans will be your Division A grand champions. They got through the killer district of A West. They had to face Regen Retro. They had to face Phoenix Rising Ruby, and they got through that, and now they got through PSRL for the championship 3-0. Congratulations to them.
Well played. Very well played.
Whew, that was an ending. Sorry, go ahead.
What ending to a series that was, just absolutely just game 2, game 3, just brutal of Tainted Orphans just putting on an absolute clinic there, playing so well, doing a great job of denying kills, denying engages, and denying that the macro pressure or the team fights that PSRL was looking for.
Yeah, and with that, I'm gonna PM the team, see if we can get a post game with Tainted Orphans here. But with that, just such a strong showing. It felt like they took licks in game 1, Tainted Orphans. They took their licks, and I apparently dropped the call with StoiC. Whoopsie daisies. Sorry about that. Let's get him back. There we go. Hey, sorry.
No worries.
Sorry about that, everyone. Hang on 1 second here. I can't pull you back. Oh well. StoiC is now the embodiment of nothingness. Apologies for that, but nonetheless, it just felt like at that point, at right after that triple Webweaver defense, Tainted Orphans just found a second gear and never looked back. And obviously dominating to the 3-0 victory that they earned.
Yeah, I think you're right. They came out and they worked and they earned it here. I think that moment when it was almost like we just held off 3 Web Weavers in a row, and they just kind of climbed it back, and that was when things got really rolling for them.
Well, with that, we're going to take a brief break while we get set up for the interview. We'll be right back, but once again, congratulations to Tainted Orphans on their 3-0 victory, and that should allow actually Division D to kick off here in 45 minutes. So we're just going to do our interview and then say nighty-night, but stick around for the Division D Grand Finals. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm going to have to just hide that for a second. As we are in Discord talking to the captain, Bridge to Nowhere, and the offlaner variations of the victorious Tainted Orphans. This is always the goal at the start of the season, so I got to imagine you're celebratory, but how are you guys feeling?
Oh, feeling absolutely fantastic. It was a nice 3-0 victory, so we're really excited about that. Matt, what about you? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, obviously getting the 3-0 victory really showed a lot of dominations in game 2 and 3, but let's start with game 1. Actually, let's start with the map bans. So scouting this match ahead of time, you guys had pretty much just been banning Braxis and Sky. Just Braxis and Sky, and I think you maybe banned out Curse and Volskaya once, but that was almost always when either Braxis or Sky was banned by the other team. You throw in the wrinkle here. You say, all right, we'll make them ban Sky, and we're gonna take out Volskaya. What was the logic behind that?
We knew that they were a team that was comfortable with Volskaya because it had been played a lot more on the Div A East from what we saw. So we were just really looking to take that away. It was a map that I don't think we actually even played once during the season or playoffs. So it just wasn't something that we were comfortable with. So we just wanted to get rid of it because why would we keep it up if we knew they had practice on it and we didn't? So it was just kind of one of those easy calls to make, just to put ourselves in a better position.
All right, and obviously, I mean, worked out well. The results speak for themselves. You of course, you have to pick map. You go to Tomb of the Spider Queen, which I don't think shocked anyone, given your success on that map. Now 7-0. Why have you been so successful on Tomb, do you think?
It's kind of just a culmination of the picks that we like to take, our comfort picks, being really strong in that map, being like Junkrat, obviously, and ETC, Johanna in the earlier season before she got nerfed. It's just really comfortable picks for us, and just the macro kind of works out in our favor because it's a smaller map, so we're able to be aggressive, which I feel like our team is centered around being aggressive. So it kind of helps us and puts us in that position to really just buff all the things that we're strong at, actually.
Now, there was a point there in that game where you actually faced three Webweaver phases in a row. It was kind of a race turn in on the third, but they managed to get that last gem in before you for the triple altar. At that point, or triple Webweaver phase, at that point you lost 2 keeps. What were comms like at that moment, and how do you turn that game around?
Matt, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, at that point, like our comms weren't as chaotic as people may imagine. Like, sure, we lost 2 keeps. That's generally big for ending the game, but we were able to force, and I think we actually got a pick during one of the last web weaver phases as well. So that right there, we basically opened up what could be possibility of our victory conditions right there, knowing that we wanted to go for the boss and the turn in at the same time.
Yeah, you managed to, of course. So it was on the top keep. They got the keep, but you kind of managed to. You had a big dragon's arrow that enabled a lot of follow up. I think you got 2 kills, turned that into an immediate boss webweaver push, and then managed to kind of get pickoffs from there. So just really well done turning that game around, despite being down 2 keeps at that point. Heading into map number 2, you guys have to pick map again. You go to towers. Not too surprising. That has been kind of your third most preferred map, at least in terms of games played. Why towers over shrines though for game 2? Excuse me for a second. Yeah.
I think we just wanted to go into towers because that again it's kind of the same thing for us where we can take into somewhere where we know that we've played a lot, we're comfortable with the macro, we're comfortable with what picks we can take there, and we just played a comp that we've done multiple times on that map minus the Abbey because they banned it out. But like other than that, like we just knew it was a map that we were comfortable with, so it's like might as well go into it. And they gave us the ETC Junkrat that helped us.
Yeah. So do you want to add any questions about map 2?
Yeah. So map 2, I thought was, I mean, the Haka play was able to hold off both of a Sonya and a Falstad, and by the mid game able to double soak while they were single soaking. Any secrets you want to share to us at home about what allowed you to be so successful on that?
Well, actually, for me, like Dahaka is actually secretly my most played hero. I'm not a one-trick Dahaka. No, I'm not. But the Sonya was actually an interesting pickup in their draft in general, because generally you actually want to be able to have something that can double soak on that map to allow the 4-man to take control of bottom. And as well, the Sonya build was kind of awkward, which, like, especially now taking the block it one, Dahaka alone then can actually outduel the Sonya. And with the speed, you can actually duel against the Falstad as well. So with the movement speed quest going further into the game, I had no problems like outdueling either of them, or even just running away if I need to.
And both of them.
Yeah, I mean, you got. I think you got to kill like 2v1 on the Sonya at one point as well, yeah. which was obviously a critical point in the game as well. You guys just managed to kind of stagger them, and it was very strong. One stat I wanted to point out because it blew my mind when I saw it. I'm like, wow, these guys are really good, and it's because you don't just lead Division A West in terms of time with hero advantage, which is a whopping 22.1%, over 1/5 of the game. Wow. You don't just lead A West, you lead Division A, and also all of NGS.
Jeez.
So you guys do really good job staggering, and I think that definitely showed in games 2 and 3 and helped out a lot. But especially game 2, it felt like, I mean, after the second altar, you guys didn't give up a point. So I wanted to congratulate you there. So PSRL takes you to Infernal Shrines game 3. They give you first pick. They want to go to a map that they feel comfortable on. What worked for you guys so well on Infernal Shrines?
I think that us forcing them into a comp that they may not have been comfortable with by taking away, of course, stuff that they were like Uther and Orphea, which we knew that they wanted to play if they could. We basically just took, the Tassadar first pick, and then after that, we were kind of building around the Tassadar essentially with the Diablo being able to stun off of Tassadar walls, and we actually debated about going Leo over Yrel, which actually might have worked better for us considering they went triple frontline in the end, but we didn't know that going into it.
Right.
But the Yrel worked out for us too. But yeah, so we kind of just we knew what we wanted to get rid of for them, and then after that, it was just basically compiling whatever we wanted. And so yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys comboed exceptionally well, both in games 2 and 3. Just Wombo's regularly securing kills. I do think the Yrel paid big dividends on that last fight up in the top lane, and I want to give variations. I want to give you credit for that because I thought you played it very well. The Diablo got picked off early, but you managed to separate out the Greymane, and then from there you just sit on the back line and continuously disrupt, and enabled to turn what was a 1 death into 4 kills, which ultimately led to the game ending as we saw. Any last thoughts on Game 3, StoiC or anyone else?
Matt, you want to say something?
Not really anything special, but
about that top. Whenever Matt variations here was chasing them as a Yrel, I just made a stupid comment. I thought it was pretty funny. I was basically saying that, he was sleeping at their house at that point in the back line. He took a little blanket and just took a nap right there, and basically lived longer than I thought he would, and didn't die. I was really surprised. I was like, I mean, it makes sense because they blew everything on me as Diablo to get me killed. And then after that, they don't really have anything to get themselves out once they're in, except for Stukov swipes maybe. But other than that, they're pretty much all in comp. But yeah, I thought that was pretty impressive from Matt.
it wasn't only that. It was also because they had triple tank and we blew up the Greymane right away. So at that point, they actually had, like, a Blaze isn't going to do damage to your Hell.
Yeah,
Arthas is, if you can stay on her, maybe. And then that leaves Stukov, which I'm sitting on, which I think, what do you want, Spine Launcher? I think he went at 1 too.
No, reactive Ballista spores.
Ballista. But even then, I have block at level 1, which blocks half the damage, even if he smacks me. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, with that, just want to congratulate you again on the really dominant 3-0, especially maps 2 and 3. You guys are Division A Grand Champions. You know what that means? You're moving up to Heroic next season, so enjoy that. But with that, we want to go ahead and give you guys time and a chance to shout out stuff. So go ahead.
Shout out to, first of all and foremost, the NGS caster. Oh, voice crack. That was bad. Sorry about that one, Mom. NGS casters for putting on a show for us. Like I said in, I think it was Ektar's stream, I said, without casters, it would just be a bunch of sweaty boys going at it in their bedrooms.
Okay. Go ahead.
Other than, like, without y'all, it would really just be that. So thank you for casting their game, for putting on a show for us. Shout out to Mom and Dad, bless up. Thank you for making me. Shout out to my team, the Tainted Orphans. No one really expected much out of us going into it, but I feel like we really were able to pull ourselves together and create a strong team. Obviously strong enough to win Div A East and West, the entire division. So shout out to my team for that. And that's pretty much it. Matt, you have anything? Any shout outs?
Well, shout out to the rest of Div A West. I mean, honestly, we had some good games going into it. Sadly, one of the teams did drop out. Your spirit was carried through us throughout these games.
Yes.
Let us know what you thought about them if you did watch them. Shout out to Aura, who actually helped us with our picture for our team.
I forgot him. So a little anecdote. Whenever we first initially started the season, I had a picture of an actual orphan I was crying as our picture, and NGS was kind of like, that's a little too realistic. so we ended up settling with Annie, which was kind of appropriate enough to kind of balance it out. But yeah, that's funny. I forgot about that.
Well, fair enough. All right. Well, congratulations once again, guys, and then go celebrate with your team. Thank you so much for letting us cast this. I know StoiC and I had a ton of fun doing it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Great games.
Thank you.
And with that, StoiC, we're going to draw this evening to a close. Thank you so much for coming on as co-caster. I'm sorry that I have turned you into a formless void. I will try to fix you later tonight. But in that time, as a formless void, are you still enticed by the mortal realm enough to possibly throw some shoutouts for us?
Yeah. shout outs to NGS. It's been my first season. Had a great time casting, excellent time playing. Didn't make it to the playoffs, but got to have a great time watching so many great playoff games. Shout out to my brother, whose computer I'm getting to use right now, which has allowed me to stay, tuned in and plugged into this awesome action. And my final shout out goes to 1015, the Div D Grand Championships that are coming up. So make sure to stay tuned to that.
All right, and that will hopefully, it will either be on this channel or Nexus Gaming Series 2. The plan was Nexus Gaming Series 2. We didn't expect this series to be over yet. But with that, thank you all for watching. This has been my last cast of the season. It's been a great season. Serving as the head caster, I'm looking forward to doing it again in Season 10. And look forward to seeing all of you back here in Season 10. As well as for Storm Division, which starts up with the qualifiers soon. Thank you for dropping the Matcherino link in chat. Once again, go ahead, if you got $5, chip it in, and let's get the best tournament that we can. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Have a great night, and enjoy the Division D Grand Finals. Farewell.